What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Phightins Final. Here, streaming on multiple platforms, streaming on the EOP Facebook page and the It's a Wrap Sports Network YouTube channel. So it's great to be back, and it's great to be here. It's great to see you guys again, and we got ourselves an instant classic. Phillies with their backs up against the wall, needed to get the win tonight. Battled back and forth. It was boring. It got fun. It got scary. It got fun again. Got scary again, and then it got fun as the Phillies were able to. Nick Castellanos, with a hell of a day, walks it off in the bottom of the ninth inning. Phillies win 7-6, tied the series up, one game apiece. We got ourselves a series. It's off to New York now, and the Mets up in Queens, and boy. What a day. What a day. What a day indeed. Christopher Sanchez, what can I say? You know, he gave you 5 quality innings. Kind of reminiscent how the game started off yesterday, except for the Mets getting off to the home run start. And then it was sort of back and forth, frustrating, as I mentioned, boring. People, and I know I was one of those people that was thinking that this is going to be ugly, and the season's over after just 2 games into the playoffs. But, you know, I guess the shot heard round the world was the Bryce Harper 2-run jack there in the, what was that, in the 6th inning? Kind of a 431-foot bomb at Citizen Bank Park to get the Phillies back into this thing 3-2, and then follow that up with Nick Castellanos as they went back-to-back to make it 3-3. Was the Castellanos... Or I should say, was the Harper 2-run home run the part of the game that stood out for you? Was it the Castellanos on the back end of the back-to-back? Or was it that Bryson Stott triple, who I've been an advocate of wondering why the hell he's still batting 5th in the lineup? But tonight he comes big time with that triple to get the Phillies in the lead, actually. So, a lot of good things to talk about tonight, but there are some questionable things. The Phillies bullpen continues to struggle in the postseason, and the starting pitching, which was decent tonight. Sanchez went, what was his line on the night for Chris Sanchez? He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. They were earned, a walk, 5 strikeouts, home run, 88 pitches through those 5 innings. Not great. But he gave you what you needed. He got you in the game. He kept you in the game. It was 2-0 when he vacated. Then Ruiz comes in, gives up the homer right off the bat. I think it was the first batter he faced, wasn't it? Alonso who jacked it out of there to make it, to give him a 3-0 lead. But then the Phillies came back on the comeback trail. So the bullpen is continuously still trying to figure itself out. This is not the best place to be doing that. But a 7-6 come-from-behind win in the playoffs. All bets are off in the playoffs. They got the win, and I'm very impressed and very happy about that. But now we got ourselves a series, and now the Phillies pitching depth's going to be definitely tested. Both teams, was it 10 pitchers used over the last 2 days by both teams? Bullpens are taxed, and we're early into Game 3. I got the day off tomorrow, which will help. But how much longer? And hopefully for the Phillies' sake, it lasts a lot longer. Noah will go in Game 3. Let's hope we can kind of keep this thing rolling. The pitching depth is a concern for the Phillies starting-wise and now apparently in the bullpen, but that's for another night. 7-6 Phillies. Let's go over the box score, if you will. Phillies on the day, the Mets would finish with 6 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. Phillies, 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. Offensive standouts, it was not Kyle Schwarber today. 0 for 5 up there at the top of the lineup. He's now batting 200 in the playoffs. Trey Turner turned his playoffs postseason season around today. 2 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. Bryce Harper, maybe the hit of the night. I don't know. 1 for 3, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. That homer. Castellanos, I definitely think he is your offensive player of the night. 3 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, a home run, and, of course, the walk-off there in the 9th inning. Bryson Stott, 2 for 4 with a triple and the 2 RBIs. JT had an O-burger, but he got the fielder's choice as he drove in Stott on third. So you give him an RBI there. Brandon Marsh, nothing. Sosa, nothing. And Alec Boehm, who was benched in this game, came on as a pinch hitter late in the game and went 0 for 2. Rojas was 0 for 1. Cody Clemens and Austin Hayes also got into the mix. Clemens with a big hit there. He was 1 for 2. For the Mets, offensively, Lindor, 2 for 5 with 2 runs. Ventos was 3 for 4. Nimmo was 2 for 5. Alonso was 1 for 4. The Phillies have been keeping him under control. Obviously, the home run today wasn't really good, but Alonso was 1 for 4 with that big home run. Iglesias 1 for 4. JD Martinez was 1 for 4. Sterling Marte 0 for 4. And then 0 for and 1 fours along the way. I mentioned Sanchez's line. Severino pitched well for the Mets. He was dealing up until that 6th inning. I thought the Mets kept him in there way too long. I thought after that Harper home run, he should have been taken out. Thankfully, he wasn't, as Castellanos followed that up with a back-to-back jack. So thank you, Mets. Thank you for metting that up. Severino for the night, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. He did strike out 7 Phillies and gave up 2 home runs. Buto, and then the man we own. We own him. We own him. Edwin Diaz. Boy, can he pitch every game against the Phillies? Can the Mets bring him in every high leverage situation and against the Phillies? Because this guy is like straight money in the bank every time he steps on the mound for the Mets against the Phillies. He lasted a half inning, 2 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned, a walk and 2 home runs. McGill pitched an inning in the 3rd. He gets the loss undeservedly so, but he gave up the walk-off double to Castellanos at the end of the game. Sanchez, Ruiz, Kerkering, Estevez, Strom gave the up and back, or the back and forth stuff, and then Hoffman will come in and get credit for the win as he relieves Strom in the 9th. Scoring summary: Mets would get it going, as I mentioned, sort of in fashion like the Phillies did, but they had to wait to the 3rd inning. Ventos would homer a 2-run shot to make it 2-0 Mets, and then that was all the scoring. No scoring in the 1st or 2nd, and no scoring in the 4th and 5th until Pete Alonso would tag Ruiz with a homer to kind of lead off the 6th inning to make it 3-0. But here come the Phillies in the bottom of the 6th. Bryce Harper, the 2-run shot to make it 3-2, and then Castellanos follows that up with a back-to-back as he ties it up at 3, a 420-foot bomb of his own. Nimmo then would put the Mets back on top, 4-3 in the top of the 7th with a homer. Stott then with the big-time triple in the 8th inning would knock in Harper and Castellanos to put the Phillies back up 5-4. Realmuto would follow that up with a fielder's choice, driving in Stott to make it 6-4. But then here comes Vientos and the Mets in the 9th off of Matt Strom, a 2-run shot to tie things up at 6. But then Castellanos walks it off in the 9th. And there you have 7-6 Phillies with the win. They tie the series. Phillies left 7 runners on. They were 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They did not ground into any double plays. And they swiped 3 bases today. The Mets were 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Kudos to the Phillies pitchers for at least doing that right. They left 7 on board and stole 1 base tonight. And there you have Phillies 7-6 winners over the New York Mets, tying this series up at 1 game apiece. And we got ourselves a series. Mike Lauro checking in. Good. What a game Matty was watching from my bed. Yeah, Mike is in the midst of, I don't know. He was coughing up a storm last night on the show. So, Mike, I hope you're feeling okay. It's that time of the year, man. It is that time of the year. Got one question. Why didn't Thompson not bring our closer out for the 9th when he only threw 8 pitches in the 8th? Jeff, I got another question to ask for you on top of your question. Who's the closer? Who is the closer? That's the problem, Jeff. That is the problem with the Phillies. We don't have a closer. We got a closer/bullpen by committee. You don't know who you're going to see. But the question I understand, Strom did not belong in that position. He's not a closer, even in the closer by committee thing. The problem is we don't have a closer. And yes, Thompson is a problem. Thompson's a problem. And I don't know, going deeper into this, maybe Thompson's just not ready to be a World Series winning manager. I don't know. I've told you guys this from day one. I don't like the bullpen by committee. And you don't know who you're going to get every night. And then saying in the 2024 postseason, going, tag, you're it. You're going to be our closer through the rest of the postseason. That's not going to work either. That's going to mess with some pitcher's psyche. So, Jeff, asking questions, valid questions as they are, it's a moot point when you're dealing with this manager. We don't have a closer. Mike says he's dying. I hope that's not true. Is it flu-like symptoms? Is it COVID-19? You got the creeping crud, Mike. What you got going on? Thought it was to be Estevez. Thompson's driving me nuts. Well, was Estevez? I mean, I remember when Estevez was brought here, and that was definitely the consensus thinking. But that was the problem. That we don't have a closer. That's when Dombrowski going out to get a closer. He was going to be used as a closer, Jeff. Jeff, where you been, man? I ranted about this months ago about the whole Estevez thing. And then Estevez, to be honest with you, are you really trusting him to be your closer? I mean, come on. The guy's flaky as hell. But Jeff, again, a valid question that I don't know if it's going to be answered over the next 2 weeks, and that scares me about the Phillies, and it scares me about everything else that's going on with this team. Remember, everybody, and I'm going to put this up here because, yeah, we've moved. The Phightins Final is now part of a new network. It's my network, MattyB. That's right. I started my own network. So I want to put this thing up here so you guys can see it. We are called the It's a Wrap Sports Network, and you can find it down below. Actually, the YouTube thing down below there is where this show will be primarily going forward over the next 1,000 years, for as long as I can live, I guess. EOP is still here, but they've gone to a different format. They've gone a different direction. I am going to attempt to try to stream off of their Facebook and X for now, and until they've given us permission to do that. But I don't know how long that's going to last. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss any of the Phillies Flyers post-game action, because Clear the Ice is in the same boat with Phightins Final. Everyone's now on It's a Wrap Sports Network. I should have named it the MattyB Sports Network. That probably would have been easier for me to say, but that would have been a little bit egomaniacal, right? I mean, I don't know. But if you want to make sure that you don't miss a second of all the biting post-game coverage that we provide you here, you'll like and subscribe the YouTube channel listed in the banner and listed down below in the comments. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, if you're not watching on the YouTube channel, here's the information right here. So head over there. And then tomorrow night, so the first show was the Phightins Final from last night. I'm here tonight. Tomorrow night, my new show will debut at 10 p.m. on that network. So looking forward to seeing everybody then. But Phillies, 7-6 winners tonight. Let's head over now to our Broad Street bottom line. All right, the Broad Street bottom line tonight was, for me at least, for the Phillies in this game, they just didn't seem to want to quit, and that's really what this has come down to for me. Yesterday was just so frustrating to watch because the team looked dead. The team looked like they didn't want to be there. They looked lifeless. They looked defeated, and they were accepting it. Today they didn't accept it. Today they fought with everything that they had. Now they got some gifts from the Mets. The approach at the plate is still befuddling me too, because again, but we live today by the home run. We celebrate those, but I'm still concerned about the plate approach. But listen, the spirit, the fighter's will was definitely there for this team tonight. It wasn't pretty at all. The pitching let them down, but they kept coming back. They kept answering the bell. They kept coming back, and you got to give the Phillies credit for that. And that to me was the Broad Street bottom line, because without that, we would have lost this game probably 3-0. And the series would be in jeopardy, or the season would be in jeopardy of being over. So the Broad Street bottom line tonight for me is the Phillies had a pulse, and they fought back. Now, could we look back at all of this when it's all said and done with and look at that Bryce Harper 2-run home run in Game 2 of the NLDS in the same reverence that we look back at Gene Segura in the 9th inning of the Cardinals series in 22? Maybe. But let's see. It's a good starting point, though. So the Phillies with a pulse is my Broad Street bottom line tonight. And that on the network is brought to you by the good folks over here at this network, at the It's a Wrap Sports Network, because I don't have any more sponsors. That's part of the new situation that we're all dealing with. But we are now. Let's continue on with. Let's go around the bases on this Sunday afternoon or Sunday night in postseason MLB. Now, the big board is telling me that there's only one other game in progress today, and that is the Padres and the Dodgers are just underway out there in L.A. It's 1-0 San Diego over L.A. L.A. has a one-game series, 1-0 series lead, so they're looking to kind of put a stranglehold on that, but that's it. That's the only game that's going on right now in MLB postseason, the Dodgers and the Padres, so here we go. I get Bowman is in a slump, but he's one of the top guys that got us there. Player starters, what's your opinion? Susan, listen, I've never... Alec Bohm is an enigma to me. Listen, the benching of Alec Bohm, I wouldn't have benched Alec Bohm. I would have benched other players. You're going to laugh. Bryson Stott would have been the guy I would have benched. Now, of course, that's why I'm sitting over here and not in the dugout at Citizen Bank Park. Rob Thompson... we rag on him a lot. I rag on him a lot. But tonight he pulled the right string. And honestly, so the optics of benching Alec Bohm, it's a cop-out. Maybe it was a message to be sent to the rest of them because he wasn't going to bench Harper. He wasn't going to bench Castellanos. Hasn't benched Castellanos all season. He wasn't going to bench Turner. He had to bench one of those lesser paid yet star players that the Phillies had. I think it was a message. It was a scare tactic sent to the team. And it just happened to be Alec Bohm. He was probably in his office last night saying, Bohm, Stott. Which one do I bench? Thankfully, he made the right decision to bench Bohm. But I get your point. He's an all-star. He carried us. But just like the majority of this team, they carried us through one half of the season. The second half's been a mess. And Bohm shares responsibility in that mess. But optically, it doesn't send the right message, but maybe it did. Maybe it sent the right message to the right people, which was the team tonight. I don't know, but I wasn't against sitting a starter. I really wasn't. It wasn't. Bohm was not my first choice. It honestly was Stott. I thought Stott, in my opinion, is not a fifth hole hitter. He never will be. But tonight, it paid off. And tonight, he might have had one of the top 10 greatest hits in Phillies history, maybe. So, you can see how much I know, right? But I hear your point, Susan. I do. I absolutely get it. All-Star Strom, not so much. Glad they pulled it out. Yeah. Strom's struggling. Kerkering's struggling. Hoffman pitched a little bit better tonight. Got him out, got him through the rest of the ninth inning. Again, Walter, I said this at the top, and I don't know if you were here. There is a problem with the bullpen by committee situation. I've been yammering on about that since March, and it's kind of rearing its ugly head. There was a question asked earlier from Jeff about is Estevez isn't he the closer? I never believed he's the closer. Honestly, I thought he was brought here to be part of the committee, but Strom, you're right. But the Strom is that his spot? I never saw Strom in that spot. Has anybody ever seen Strom as a closer? Again, Thompson tried to met it up too. I'm telling you, man, this series, this team, before it's all said and done with, I'm going to die of a heart attack. I really am. And I know a lot of you are out there feeling the same way. It's crazy. It's crazy train, man. It is. Freddie's saying, when Bohm swung at the first pitch, I wanted to kill him. What an ass. I'm still pissed. Again, the plate approach has not changed. Tonight, somebody on this network says it all the time. Matter of fact, wasn't it you, Fred? You did say this. And I'm not bagging on you. You live by the home run, you die by the home run. Tonight, they lived by it. Tomorrow night, they may die by it. It's a terrible plate approach. It's terrible how they go about it. But on nights like tonight, it paid off. Will this yield World Series gold? I don't know. But something that has to be addressed there too. But you're right, Fred. It's insane. Why do we trade for a closer? Why do we trade for? Great question, Fred. I've been asking that for months. I've been asking why we went after. Fred, it was addressed at the trade deadline. It was addressed by the Phillies management when they brought him here. Dombrowski said it. Yeah, I know he's a closer, but we're going to ask him to do a little bit more than that. He knew what he was getting into. I mean, he had no say on the trade. Obviously, the player did, but the public knew. Dombrowski said it. Yes, he's a closer, and yes, he'll close. But in the way we run the bullpen, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, the way we run the bullpen, he'll be asked to do other things. I don't agree with it either. I've been saying it since March. It's going to be the death of this team, and it's so far it's been hairy, to say the least bit, going through the first 2 games of the playoffs. Topper almost costing us. I can't believe you went to Strom. Now, who was available? Honestly, I guess we mentioned this Estevez, who only pitched about 8 pitches last night. He could have been used. Was Alvarado available tonight? He could have been used. These are names that don't strike instant, like, yeah, man, we should have went. And that's the problem, Fred. We don't have any other options. But again, Strom wasn't on my bingo card in the 9th inning. Matt Strom? No, you're right. You're absolutely 100% right. What did the analytics tell Rob Thompson about that? Other than giving up a 2-run home run to Eric Vientos. You're right, Fred. It wasn't on my bingo card. Does he have? Is he even using analytics? Is there a dartboard in the tunnel with people's faces on him, and he just sits there and goes, "Okay, oh, Matt Strom, get him in there." What's the formula? I'd just like to see what the formula is when he decides what player or what pitcher to bring in the 9th inning. Estevez, no doubt, should have been used. They had a week off. Yes, absolutely. And Alec Boehm should have played too. They had a week off, right? Fred, mentality, right? It's the same kind of mentality, right? Can anyone explain why the color commentator is so pro Mets? Neither one has squat to say when the cast. Who cares, man? John, good point. Pro Mets, whatever. Pro Mets, pro Phillies. Who cares? At the end of the day, we won 7-6. Does not matter. I don't know if you can sync up. I know the radio is still doing it. Obviously, T-Mac is done. John Kruk, they're done. I think they do. I know McCarthy, I think, does appearances on the radio now for an inning or 2 during the playoffs. Try to sync your radio to your TV and listen to the game while watching it. It works for the Eagles, and it's worked for me for years for the Eagles. So I agree. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but yeah, I don't listen to it anyway. I don't listen to that crap. All I'm concerned about is what's happening on the screen. Yeah, I'm so with you. Again, does Rob Thompson have what it takes to win a World Series? Is it like running up to the bridge of the Titanic on the night it was sinking and seeing Daffy Duck at the wheel? Again, I get you, Fred. And it's been a problem for years here. A problem for years. I'm not sure. Try it. You can probably stream it through, is it Odyssey? You probably stream it that way. I know some, again, I hear what you're saying. I know the MLB network or the MLB app, you can stream games through, you can stream the radio or the TV games through it. So, try it, man. Try it. Yeah. The announcers are so brutal. They're legit, say inning by inning, a little better today. Yesterday was awful. Yeah, it was. But it's only going to get worse as we move through it. You know that, right? It's only going to get worse. But as long as we keep moving through, I want to, maybe I'll call a game. I'll call a game in the World Series. Freddie Burns facts. Yeah. Freddie Burns always spits the facts. Hey, again, this is the Phightins Final on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Please like and subscribe the YouTube channel down below or this little address that's popping through the scroll there. This is where you'll find this show from this point forward. We are streaming also off the EOP Facebook platform. Thank you very much for that. I don't know how long that's going to last, as we are no longer, and I am no longer affiliated with the Edge of Philly Sports, other than in a professional, courtesy support type basis. But please support my new channel, my new network, and we can get this thing up and running and continue to give you the great Phightins Final, Clear the Ice, Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn, and then my new show, which will start tomorrow night as well. And we can continue giving you all this great coverage. So I can't wait. No one of the Phillies pay attention to Topper benching Boehm. the Phillies responded to Harper hitting a homer. Pat, I disagree. You know, inside that locker room is pretty tight, man. Pretty tight. It's a pretty tight, like cult-like world. They knew Alec Bohm got benched. They knew. I'm not saying they were, you know, I hear what you're saying. I feel what you're saying, man, but they knew. And I'm not, again, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was based purely off of Alec Bohm's lack of performance. But the rest of the players saw it. And again, I'm just saying, maybe, I know it would have been me. I would have been thinking that, like, okay, he's going to bench Bohm. Am I next? Especially if I was Bryce Stott, right? Maybe not Harper or Schwarber or Turner, but if I'm Stott and if I'm Marsh, I'm thinking, well, they benched him. Am I next? So I disagree. I think they all were paying attention to that. Again, it's a very tight tribal-like society inside that locker room. Thank you, Fred. I've never met you before, Fred Burns, but thank you for your support. Jack says, what a roller coaster. Yes, that's why you love baseball, right? Now, a little transparency. I was actually not even watching the game. I was listening to it in the car. I was driving back from Boston this afternoon, and unfortunately, duty calls, and I'm a hockey ref, and I spent a lot of time up in New England, and a lot of time in the Boston, Massachusetts area, all them little towns around there. And so my last game was over at about 3 o'clock. Got on the road about 3:30, and down 95 South the whole way, listening to the game. So I didn't have the visual, but I certainly had the audio experience to go along with what was happening as well. But this is why you watch it, right? This is why MLB playoff baseball is probably right up there, man. It's got to be right up there with hell, I think NHL hockey and the playoffs are really good too. But there's nothing like MLB baseball playoffs. You're on every single pitch. You're on every single at bat. And there ain't nothing like it, man. There ain't nothing like it. Pat says, thank you, Pat. I need your support more than ever. And that goes for everybody out there. If you want to see the Phightins final continue, which I will pray to God that we get into season 4 next year. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what season 4 is going to look like, and I don't know who's going to be here presenting it to you. I would like the ones that have been carrying the torch of this show for the last 3 seasons to continue on with it. But if you don't support me, if you don't subscribe, then I can't tell you where this show will be next year. I want it to continue. I have a blast doing it, and I know the guys have a blast doing it. Matter of fact, tomorrow or game 3, I don't have a graphic for it, but game 3, the Phightins final will be me and Big Al. We're going to be carrying the Phightins final for game 3. It was supposed to be me and Mike tonight, but Mike got sick, so I'm pulling solo duty. But game 3 will be me and Big Al after the Mets-Phillies game on Tuesday. So make sure you're tuned in. What's the lineup on Tuesday? Bomer gets back on track. Yeah, maybe. He'll definitely be back in there. I mean, think about it, though, man. Benching Bohm in the playoffs for Sosa. It had to be a message. It was a message. It was nothing to do with analytics or strategy. It had to be a message. That's what I'm saying. I think it was purely for a message. I really do. Put Weston Wilson. What about Hayes? Why put him in for Marsh? I mean, come on, man. That's we traded for him, right? I mean, he plays left. Put him in center. I mean, come on. And that's going to be an issue that we have to address in the offseason. Hopefully we can get through it and everything is right. But our outfield's a mess. We don't have a center fielder and all that. Interesting. Yeah, bench Marsh. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Hell yeah, the Al guy knows a thing or two, a coach and a ref. Hey, hell yeah, that Al guy knows a thing or two, a coach and ref. What is Al ref? Is he really a ref? Is he a football ref? I never knew that, Fred. Is that true? Ellis, good to see you. Ellis, don't forget, you need to like and subscribe to the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Tell all the people out there, all the Phightins final regulars, that this show is now moved to a new platform. We are now streaming off of our YouTube channel, which is this that you're seeing, or you're probably watching on Facebook, which you are. Just borrowing the EOP Facebook stream, as we are no longer, EOP has reorganized and redistributed their properties to fit the growing financial restraints of the 2025 post-geopolitical markets. I'm making all that up, but they have reorganized, and they are moving in another direction. So henceforth, ipso facto, I am moving in another direction, and that direction is to the It's a Wrap Sports Network. YouTube channel address can be found in the little scroll thing, and then, of course, down there in the information if you're not watching us on YouTube. So you find that, Ellis, go to that damn address that's passed in front of the screen right now, and pass on, everybody. That is where the new home of the Phightins final will be. Hayes played today and struck out. Yes, he did. He came up as a pinch hitter. That's my point exactly, man. Yeah, ref. You a ref and Al's a coach. Yeah, I'm an umpire too. So don't leave that out, man. Don't shame me like that. Make sure you put in my baseball experience too there, Fred. But yeah, so I was driving home from Massachusetts listening to the game today. Beautiful day today. Beautiful day for a ride down scenic 95 South through New York City and New Jersey. Woohoo! It don't get no better than that, man. It doesn't. Yes, I agree, Tim. Okay, I thank you, Ellis. Pass the word around, everybody. And then the Phightins final crew is still intact, at least for the rest of this postseason. You'll be seeing a majority of us coming up as we move through these shows and the series and all that. But I don't know about going forward into next year yet. I hope they are. But it's not just going to be me. The Phightins final crew is still here. There we go. Umpire ref, Timo and Timo. Nimmo needs to wear one on Tuesday. All right. All right, guys, listen, 7-6 win. Phillies have tied the series up. We have ourselves a series. They break their own personal 3-game losing streak at Citizen Bank Park in the playoffs, dating back to last year's NLCS. This was a huge win in a lot of different ways. It should hopefully be the catapult win to get us into deeper into the series. And, of course, as we move through this thing, Game 3 is on Tuesday night at Citi Field in Flushing, and your starter for the Phillies is going to be Aaron Nola. Nola will be going against Manessa. So Sean Manessa is going to go for the Mets, and Aaron Nola is going to go for the Phillies in Game 3. And don't forget, immediately following Game 3's action, be back over here for the Phightins final. I believe Game 3 is on at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. Is that the time they said? Let's see. Yeah, 5 o'clock start time. 5 o'clock first pitch from Queens. So be back here about 8 o'clock or so on Tuesday night for the Phightins final. Again, I'm going to see if we can stream from the Facebook platform for EOP, but it'll be mainly going forward down there on It's a Wrap Sports, the It's a Wrap Sports Network, with MattyB as the CEO. Run the company into the ground in a month, man. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's my new sports network. It's my new network. It's my new home. The dream lives on, just somewhere else, because the future is now. And are you afraid? Well, you better be, because they put me in charge now. MattyB is driving the train now, man, and it's going to be fun. But make sure you come back, you checking us out. And then my show, The Final Word with MattyB, the new nightly Sunday through Thursday is going to be the schedule for this show. Nightly show at 10 p.m. airing exclusively on It's a Wrap Sports Network. We'll actually debut tomorrow, and we'll talk some more about everything that's been going on the last 8 days or 7 days, because it's been a hell of a ride the last 7 days, and we got a lot to talk about. So I'll be able to indulge you in some of the things that have been going on. Not all of it. A lot of it's personal, but I will definitely indulge how it's affected me in my life, and we'll go forward from there. I cannot wait to see you guys again. Until we talk again, go Phils. Phillies win 7-6. Series now tied 1-1. Scene now shifts to Queens. We'll talk to you on Tuesday night.